Hello, Discord and YouTube. And Kick. Can't forget Kick. We are episode 69 ahead of Slayer 7. But yeah, we left off at a bit of an emotional cliffhanger. A good emotional cliffhanger, but an emotional cliffhanger. Probably easier if I just let the crew explain. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
So,
There it is. Oh. Let's see. I believe so. Last week started with a one. Timbers and Cecile were still with the Giants and out of cell service.
mhm.
And then the party in Blackfall. We're preparing for, potential Kirk incoming. Alyssa, to be safe, smash the teleportation circle, which is smart, because to our knowledge, Kirk had teleportation circle and not full-blown teleport. And that's how many hours after that? Couple hours? Tim? After that. Yeah. A familiar...
Yeah.
Well, I believe there was a clanging at the gate. I believe lightning shot the gate, and then they noticed a certain blue feathered individual standing up on one of the what is it, ramparts? Parapet? Wall thing. Looking around, very, very twitchy. Alyssa and Hydroon were the ones kind of leading the way in an obvious way to walk towards him. While numerous individuals attempted to sneak to get closer while also trying not to spook him, just to give the sisters some backup in case of problems. Once the sisters hit a certain point in the ground while trying to talk to him, Kirk signaled by doing a storm sphere thing, or lightning sphere on the ground that was just going. And then hopped down behind it first, right? Oh no. And then hopped on the other side of it. So we had Alyssa smartly trying to talk to Kirk and not getting anything from him. Solid. Alyssa ended up casting Silence and having it like right on the edge, so if Kirk wanted to step out of it, he could have kind of kept him each at other sides. When Kirk stepped in, his eyes went back to normal. His eyes weren't normal before that. He kind of slumped to the ground, exhausted. Alyssa tried to get closer to Kirk, who stopped her, gestured to the armor. There was some talking. I believe... Yeah, somebody did detect thoughts, I think. That Hydroon?
I think the character's name is Amir.
Oh, Amir did. Yeah, Amir got closer.
It was...
Oh, I digress. There was... Kirk tried to signal to Alyssa, put Sending Stone on the ground as well as a ring. I don't know if that was at the end or before Amir tried to grab him.
That was before.
Yeah. Amir came in to try and trap Kirk before Kirk could leave. There was an exchange between the two of them in which Kirk opened his mouth, revealing to Amir that his tongue was gone. Detect thoughts happened, to which they got flashes, kind of the stuff that Kirk went through. More or less torture, brainwashing. the likes of a certain woman that Cecile had seen, but nobody else had seen. But yeah, after tongue getting cut, after mouth reveal, Kirk kind of gave Amir a look, who then promptly undid the ropes binding Kirk. And then I think at that point, the silence was dropped. Kirk did a flashy lightning bolt to disappear, and when he did, the storm sphere also disappeared after a couple minutes, revealing a word carved into the stone, which I think was Xanthal.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And that was XAN, or is it
No,
CA?
XON.
Oh,
XON.
Sorry, I need to rewrite this because
XONTHOL or AL.
AL, I believe.
Yeah. Xanthal.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I had
You're
to
good.
rewrite it.
You're good.
Alright.
Yeah. So all that went down. There was the ring, which was recognized as the ring of swimming Kirk used to have. But the sending stone, it was an unknown. Didn't know who had the other half because none of us did. Everyone was discussing options. Amir let the sisters and everyone know that his tongue is gone. And a couple hours after that, I think, Timmy,
Mm-hmm.
was when finally timelines kind of realigned, because Cecile and Timbers finally got out of their thing up at the Giants, still not receiving any of the sendings, but having interacted with Takesis, who stole the white mask, and for whatever reason leaving us alive. Cecile believes arrogance, probably. But Timbers and Cecile tried to teleport back, which worked. However, due to the circle being destroyed, rather than landing at the circle, we landed kind of halfway on a step at the top of the steps and immediately lost our footing and rolled down the steps. To which both sides updated each other, in which Timbers Cecile explained the run-in with Takesis. And the party revealed their run-in with Kirk. Thunderspells gave his info that he knew of as far as Xanthal. I don't think Thunderspells had info on Takesis, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Yeah. Thunderspells had nothing on that. But was like, I need to go update everyone. I'll let you know what our plan is next. So Cecile looked at Alyssa, looked at the sending stone. I was like, shit, we should have had him check that before he left. But whatever. Wait, I know somebody. We went to Lady Grell, Sister Grell, filled her in on things to see if maybe she could see if the sending stone was safe, or maybe scry the other one. To which she did, revealing that it was on Sledge, which was further confirmed by the fact that Cecile had Sledge's coin from the various watchers of the Emerald Enclave's forest.
Mm-hmm.
And his coin was glowing. Got a message to Dellen using her coin for the first time in forever. Was immediately emotionally whiplashed with the response, but that's fine. While Alyssa and Cecile were talking, mentioned, Xanthal and Takesis, which instantly perked up Sister Grell, who informed with Xanthal as a place of... Fuck. Why is my brain blanking on this information? Takesis, that's the easy one. Takesis is the human embodiment of Tiamat, but without Tiamat's powers. But is still a very, very strong sorceress right now. But she's the vessel when Tiamat, like the human vessel part. when Tiamat comes back. They join back together like Voltron, and it's bad. And then yeah, Xanthal is a tower that nobody fully could confirm where the location was from eons ago. That was presided over by Xanthal, yeah? Because it's
Yeah.
Xanthal's tower. Evil dragon lich man, yeah? Kinda. And was run by his extremists. More Draco Lich supporters and whatnot. Cecile remembers it as a place that at one point in time was run by the Black Network. Don't know if it still is. And between Sister Grell, Cecile, and Thunderspells, we have a rough idea of where we think it might be. But the big problem is there's no way to get sendings in or out, really. And there's potentially a huge-ass maze blocking the way to get into it as well. I think I've remembered the important things. Yeah, Timmy?
Yes.
Yeah, hard as fuck to find. Designed that way on purpose. The fact that Sister Grell was able to scry on Kirk and see Kirk and Sledge and Severin and who we now know as Takesis in a place means they most likely weren't at Xanthal, right? More than likely.
More than likely.
Maybe. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, but the fact that Kirk left that is giant clue of either that's their main base of operations or nobody knows where the Blue Mask is still. Like, that is the biggest holdup to the situation. We still have the Black Mask, but nobody knows where the Blue Mask is. As far as we're aware. So, fast forward. Chill time. Thunderspells does a what equates to a hologram message left for Hydroon. She's closest to where she was closest to where Thunderspells left. Saying, hey, we're having a meeting at the Council of Waterdeep tomorrow. Please come. Archer's like, yay. And Timbers revealed that he can summon the goddamn spirit of Cryovane. That was wild. So, and then everything got wrapped up with, we all woke up the morning of going to, like, preparing to go to Waterdeep to meet with them and discuss everything. Twit horns at the forge went off, saying stuff is done. Alyssa tracked down Cecile, and then everyone watched Cecile into the forge. Cecile was like, "This is fucking weird. It's just some demon armor I asked for," and was promptly surprised, shocked, emotionally wrecked in a good way. Gobsmacked. Lots of words of just being speechless and in awe of some of the best goddamn armor she has ever seen.
I love how you
You're
phrase that.
welcome.
Lots of words of being speechless.
Yes.
Speechless
There's
words.
so many
welcome.
words for being speechless. It's weird. Anyway, so yes, got shocked with, some of the best armor she's seen, and she's been around for a hot minute, as she discovered a couple of sessions back. She's been around for a hot minute. She thought this much is more like this much, but I digress. I promptly threw everything on.
And
I was
now
like,
she
okay,
is-
now I'm ready to fuck shit up.
Now she's like, let's
Bitch
go
ain't got
fucking
nothing.
kill Tiamat.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, she's getting ready. So, and that's where we left off. Cecile
Alrighty.
strapping into new armor.
Hmm.
So we're still in the blacksmith?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we
Yeah.
left off.
I'm putting on the armor and stuff.
I'm still catching up. So if I have a question, just
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a few people that
It's
are.
why I was much more in depth than I usually like. I'm pretty in
yes,
depth. That's why I went into more.
yes,
To
thank
feel
you.
a little bit better.
I've got
I'm-
a couple things written down that you said, so I'll kind of remember.
I'm pretty sure there's a few people that are helping the seal get into this bombastic armor. And yeah, surprisingly, because of certain materials that it's made out of, it's surprisingly lighter than it looks.
Oh yeah, no. Like once fully in gear, Cecile is like bouncing a bit. It's just like, oh, like I'm looking down at the boots, like, oh, this is
Like,
nice.
It looks
Oh.
like it should be way heavier than your old armor, but it's actually quite lighter.
Oh, this is nice. It's just moving around just to learn the limitations of how much it moves. And checking out the like clear dragon's head type device. Like tapping the like tap crystal, different color, different color, different color.
Yep, and even though you're the whole black-red aesthetic of the entire
Yep.
armor stays, you know, every time you tap the crystal, the dragon's skull, Crownvein skull, just shimmers down to a new color.
Mhm.
It's a raven, a blacksmith.
Oh yeah.
Which is the exact same type of crystal that Alyssa could do. It's just the whole, hey, you can change your color, change your color, change your color, change your color. Like, yeah, between the two of you, just having a little geek out moment.
I have a uncanny feeling that that's gonna come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe you're correct. I think for
Um,
now we're friends with the black one, the black dragon. Yeah,
surprisingly.
but we're on the hunt for the blue dragon mask. Did we get
So-
reports of blue dragons? I think I asked that on an earlier visit with Sister Gorell. Because they said a bunch of dragons were flying north, and I might have specified blue dragon. But I don't know if you wrote it down. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah,
she,
no,
she
there's-
stated,
There's been sightings of just about every type of dragon. Blue, though, specifically, have been very like rare. Like there's been wyverns, but there hasn't been any like full-size dragons of the blue kind.
so that, like a big dragon, blue dragon,
Yeah.
hasn't been spotted. So yeah, I'm actually going to change this to blue for now, because lightning feels lightning resistance right now feels appropriate. So,
And also considering with different materials too, the whole black red aesthetic, when you turn it blue, yes, you get
Mhm.
this really like navy blue, you know, dragon head color change. But some of
Mhm.
the red aesthetics in your armor become like more blue veiny based on because just it's reacting to some of the materials like the which was it? The black. No.
there's so many parts of this.
Oh, the dark steel kind of has that. The Shadowfell steel has the blue, very blue aesthetic. So it kind of like leaks into it and kind of so like you go from like the black red aesthetic to the black blue vein aesthetic as the blue kind of kicks in kind of deal.
Very
Gotta
nice.
make it look good. No matter what color change you choose, the whole armor kind of reacts to it kind of deal.
Oh yeah. No, this is very nice.
Which
Very
I
nice.
mean, you're you're an Elegant, right? Elegant elf.
Eladrin.
So with the changing of the armor, like has that same type of flair that you do when you change your seasons. kind of deal. So it doesn't just change color, the whole armor kind of like ripples with like that vein effect to where it's like, okay, you go from a black and red aesthetic to a black and blue aesthetic to a black and kind of like, you know, hunter green aesthetic kind of deal.
Nice. Nice. All right. I
So, yeah.
assume the helm is at full charges since they took it from me.
Oh yeah, it is full charge, ready to go. It just looks, compared to what your helmet used to look like and what it looks like now, it's weird how they literally broke it down and rebuilt it to make it. I mean, that's what you can kind of tell. I mean, there are some parts of this armor that feel familiar because they literally broke down your old mithril armor and rebuilt this with the new materials.
Oh shit, and I can
So
actually
there is
attune
that.
one more item. Now with that combination.
And that's another reason why I kind of combined the helmet with the armor set, is that
Mm-hmm.
he kind of gives you that other bit. Alrighty. So this would have been,
It's first thing in the morning.
it is very first thing in the morning. And while you guys are, you know, I don't know how long you guys are going to be staying in the forge. If you guys go get food, kind of prepare yourselves for going to the Waterdeep.
Oh, I look at both the cousins. And basically it's like, yeah, you two don't pay for drinks anymore.
You'd be
Just
wishing you
blanket.
didn't give us that credit, but okay. We accept.
I look at both of them like, there's not a lot I do as far as money and shit goes, so you'd be surprised.
Like, telling them that they
That's-
don't have to ever pay for drinks in Blackfall is like, their eyes get wide, like you just handed them a whole bunch of gold.
Mhm.
Oh, pay all around. Yeah.
You rush ordered this shit. Alright. Well, yeah. I'm gonna grab some food and coffee and shit like that. Look at everybody and be like, I'm gonna look at Hydrune or whoever it was with Hydrune. I guess, Timmy, you can answer this. When did Thunderspell say we were supposed to be there?
Early morning kind of thing, but you still have a couple of hours before it's time to go.
Right.
That's why I said you guys
Okay.
have a little bit of kind of run around of the place. Question. Who's got the sending stone that Kirk put down?
Me.
A little while later, after you kind of disperse, it pings an incoming message.
Okay, I listened to it.
The voice is familiar. It's groggy, kind of reptilian sound, but surprisingly positive. Essentially, the message is, all right, get up, get focused. We got shit to do. I don't care if they're watching. You got, you know, basically it's like a positive wake-up thing.
Okay.
You know, he goes on, he gives little hints like, I know they're watching, but fuck them, fuck the lot of them. We'll show them what we're made of.
We. Interesting.
And remembering how Kirk was like teetering on that whole fighting, you know, over the control and being controlled kind of deal. It seems like it kind of rings clear that these two have had these sending stones for a little while, and lately Sledge has been sending positive messages of reinforcement. Like, tell them to stay focused, tell them to stay on the prize, remember what's at stake. You know, don't let them
But
break
positive
them. Don't let them
messages
break
to
you
help.
down.
Yeah, the chaotic
Positive
side of me just wants to be like, "Hello, Sledge." But
But it's positive messages like to help Kirk fight the mind control, kind of.
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking.
Because the last time you scried, it made it look like Sledge was with everybody. And you've had word that Sledge is now somewhere in the Enclave Forest.
Oh, I keep watching that coin.
And it's still bright. But now, early morning and it's like breakfast time, you get this really weird Sledge positive talk to Kirk.
I'm immediately gonna go find Cecile and be like, "Hey, so this just happened. I kind of want to reply. What are your thoughts?" Because if he's sitting here talking to Kirk, he should know that he's not talking to Kirk anymore, and that Kirk came to us and then left. But I also feel like Kirk's message indicates where Sledge is. So, what are your thoughts?
As far as where Sledge is, I'll hold up the coin. These kind of when they're not, they're kind of tied to the person. Like I'm holding two. One is not glowing, and the other is glowing. It's like I'm not in the Emerald Enclave territory. That's why this isn't glowing. This one is glowing, which means Sledge is still in that forest somewhere.
Okay.
Which, as far as I'm aware, isn't where Zonthal's tower is. Right, Timmy? At least from the information gathered from
Do we
Strel
have
and
someone that can mimic Kirk's voice? Do we have
Kirk
that?
can't talk.
Well, not now because he doesn't have a tongue. You're right. My initial thought was maybe try to respond as Kirk, but
Kirk wouldn't be able to respond though.
yeah.
Tongue. I want to respond. I
Me too.
honestly would prefer to wait until we're in Waterdeep, because if it does get tracked, they already know where Waterdeep is, right, Timmy?
Yeah.
Like Waterdeep's a known location.
Oh, yeah.
Then
We
maybe we
talked
should
to him.
kind of hustle to Waterdeep.
I'm fine with that. I've been
That
ready.
is that is the one thing that you guys have been able to confirm with all of the reports from Waterdeep and whatnot around is wherever the cult has been attacking, because on any existing map today, Axholm is still an abandoned fortress. It's buried in the mountains. Nobody even knows where it's at half the time. They know that it's, Phandalin's little run and go hideaway under extreme attacks. But they know where all that's at, and they've already wiped that area out, kind of deal. It's like there's nothing left.
So it's still kind of hidden.
So considering now that where this ancient dwarven abandoned city or abandoned fortress has turned into quite a booming city, it is still off most existing maps. Blackfall hasn't been around long enough for it to be placed on most maps yet.
I wonder, actually.
And surprisingly, there's only one, quote, enemy that knows of its location so far.
I'm gonna go find Amir.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty much wherever you guys are. I'm assuming this is happening around breakfast time.
Yep. Amir's still hanging around, checking in on the kids every once in a while, coming back.
I mean, that's probably the first place Cecile checks, is with the kids, but I'm gonna find Amir.
What's up?
Did you and Sledge talk ever? Or were you just tailing him?
For a while it was just tailing, but when y'all left him in chains, that's when the talking happened.
Okay.
So that took a little time to get to know him before we met up with the kids and whatnot.
So, and I'll look at Alyssa because I probably dragged Alyssa with.
Oh, yeah.
So, theory.
Okay.
Sledge, Sledge's only memory of the mirror is without connection to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they're watching Sledge and he's interacting with Amir of the Sending Stone, they've already clocked Amir as a solo agent, right?
Would be a safe assumption.
So I'm saying we have Amir respond rather than us.
Yeah, that's safe.
That doesn't
agree with
confirm
that.
Kirk was near us.
Also,
It only confirms maybe Amir had a run in.
Yeah.
also taking account that since it is Kirk's and Sledge's, Kirk would not be able to respond with
Right,
the sending
but
tone because it's just
we're
audio.
trying to let Sledge know Kirk doesn't have it anymore, but if they're watching Sledge,
Internet just froze.
Bro.
My shit just froze.
I think just your
Oh.
camera, we can still hear you.
Mhm. Uh,
There we go.
There we go.
Moving.
Technical
I hear you, but yeah. So what I'm saying, Amir, is the only record they have of Sledge meeting with you was you helping Sledge get out of chains. You weren't with us.
Mhm.
So it's a safe way if they're watching him to keep him from getting in trouble. And a safe way of
Keeping this
not
place hidden.
letting them have the connection of Kirk came to us and gave us information rather than attacking. If you talk to him, you let Sledge know that we have the stone now.
Yeah, I can let him know that we have the stone, or I'll say I have the stone to keep distance between you and him.
Mm-hmm.
His kids are safe.
I wouldn't mention the kids. I would try and use euphemism.
Yep.
They did.
Yep. I'll use.
You ooh.
I
Tell
know
him-
ways of
tell
saying
him-
things without saying things directly.
You can tell him the 2 copper pieces he gave you are nice and safe.
Yep.
It's simple enough.
Mhm.
Now, do we want to do it here? Or do we want to bring Amir with
No.
us and go to Waterdeep first?
I
Yeah.
was already gonna go to Waterdeep with y'all.
So, okay,
'Cause there's
Yeah,
a lot of
we'll do it at
things that
Waterdeep.
happen.
Do it at Waterdeep. It keeps this place off the map more.
Mhm.
And keeps us away from the connection, Kirk and stuff. So let's get everybody. I start moving
Yep.
around, finding everyone to get them to the circle that Nyla remade.
Yep. So you start gathering everybody. It does take a while to find Tibbers, who you eventually see coming out of one of the mountain
Is it
passes.
bestiary? Oh, okay.
No, you guys go search the bestiary. He's not there. But if you talk to anybody of the workers that are over there, they mention that a few hours earlier he went into the mountain for the ore
Okay.
veins.
I'll find him.
And shortly as you are approaching the caves that lead in deeper into the mountains, including the mines in the mountains, you see Timbers with a couple of workers pushing out a fairly large mine cart filled with this silvery white orb.
Silvery white ore.
Mm-hmm.
Put your back
As
into
in
it! Come
silver.
on!
Yeah.
Yes.
And so yeah, him and a couple
I'm
of workers
nowhere
are
near it. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm basically just like, high fiving guys in the back, trying to like jump up, high five in the back, like pat the back, like, y'all did a great job. Let's get this to Hammer Twins. Come on, push it, come on, march,
Yeah,
march.
you even notice that even after a couple of high fives, he's taking a quick rag and wiping off his hand very furiously because, they're all covered in the
Yeah,
dust
it
from
is.
the mines and stuff like that.
I like it. Sabers and stuff
Yep.
like, is this your way of thrill seeking? Like, literally being surrounded by
I
the
look at
things that hurt
look
you?
at Steel. Oh, this is a project. This is a little project that I had the Hammer Twins, whipping up for me. Okay, bye. And I just basically, rush off.
We're going. No, come on. We're going to Waterdeep. Got a meeting. Come on.
Already? Okay.
Yep.
Hold on. I just don't. Just warm up the portal. I'll be there in just a minute. I basically rush over to the guys saying, "Take these to the Hammer Twins. They know what to do with the rest.
That's
After
not how
that,
this
y'all
spell
clean
works.
yourselves up. You did a great job."
Warm up.
And basically,
portal.
it's like I tell them all that, they quick thumbs up, and I basically rush. They're like, "Okay, I'm coming."
So does that mean I have to start up the teleportation spell?
I mean, if you want to do teleportation circle, fine.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because you can cast that as a ritual, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can cast it as a ritual.
Sweet. Yeah, saves you
I
using
will start casting the teleportation spell and be like, all right, everyone join hands, get ready. We're getting ready to heal up away.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, poof.
I take a deep breath. I basically sit down, take a deep breath, and close my eyes real tight, and I prepare.
Oh, this is teleportation
ain't
circle,
like
not
where this is going.
teleportation. This one's real precise.
Still, either way, it's not. Either way, it's just, I don't get used to that kind of teleporting stuff.
Right, you've only landed in water once and fell down some stairs the other time.
Yep.
Yeah,
so you
no, but
guys,
still, any other time I usually get
Wait.
motion sickness.
you guys teleport into the circle and
Um,
kind of walk off to it.
I'm
Leos
still
and
poisoned.
No, this is another day.
Oh,
This-
this is another
you
day? So
had
can
the
I
day
take
of
that off?
being poisoned,
Not at all.
and now you've taken a long
The
rest.
hangover.
Okay, so I can take it
You
off.
got.
I believe
those
so.
with,
Yes, that's for Timmy.
Yes.
for some of those, for some
Oh.
of y'all with
Actually, I killed myself.
keen memories and stuff like that, I had to get a new image of Leosin because a couple of they swapped out some tokens for different ones.
Uh-oh.
So my Leosin token poofed. But that's okay, because he's still just a melodramatic elf. As soon as you guys pop in, he approaches and he's
Aw.
like, "Welcome. The council is gathering as we speak."
Leosin! Buddy, how you doing? It's been a while.
Give us 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Hey, Leosin,
And I'll take. I mean, I guess Amir, Alyssa, and Cecile will go off to quiet spot.
Yep.
And let
I
Amir.
basically like, hey,
reach
listen,
out.
I need to talk to you real quick, man. And I've tried to pull him aside,
Silas just gonna walk over to the meeting spot, or at least go towards where they're supposed to go to.
Let's go do our thing.
Real quick, yeah. Who knows? He might have info we need.
Mhm.
Just somewhere over there. I'm not looking for complete and total.
There's just the three of you guys?
No.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hadrun's kind of lingering nearby Alyssa, just out of earshot.
Oh, you can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just want to get.
We just want to do this.
Yeah.
I'll let Amir reach out to Sledge. Is the coin still glowing?
Yes.
So
Do I need to
25
pull up
words.
something?
25 words.
Pull it up.
Amir takes the sending stone. He thinks about what he's gonna say, and he just goes, and he says something along the lines of, ran into your buddy. Your presents are in good hands. You know, just very simple, very quick. Hey, sending
You
stone is
mentioned the
not.
2 copper.
I said presents, not copper. Because if the enemy knows who his children
Mm.
are, the color would just be a dead giveaway.
Oh, yeah. So you say the 2 presents?
Yeah. You know, it basically very quickly conveying the information of, hey, we saw your buddy, we got the stone now, your kids are safe, and essentially thieves can't.
I mean, yeah, it's reasonable to say Sledge knows thieves can't.
Say that and just wait for a response.
There is this very long, eerie silence that falls between you three after the setting goes, and you know it very quickly that it reaches Sessionation.
Just my
Just give me the stone back and we wait.
Just hand it back.
All right.
just
What
silence.
is Tibbers talking? For right now, yes. Like, you don't get an immediate reply.
I'll just wait. I'll just hang on to it. I'll have Thor hang
no.
on to it for a moment
Yeah, we'll go into the.
until I'll check it after the meeting.
Timbers, you get the what gets you that idea.
He's like, yeah, no, I'll give you a handful. Basically, saying like, yeah, I know I can be a handful, but I just need one little favor, and I swear, I promise you, I won't bother you for quite some time.
What is it?
I was wondering if you point me in the direction of any, any sizable trees. Are there any trees in this place within these walls?
Within these walls, no. But I would guess you haven't taken.
Is there?
I guess you have no idea how big Waterdeep actually is.
I haven't been outside these walls for quite some time, so gonna kind of forgive me because being an adventurer, I took a bit many blows to the head and whatnot, so my memory ain't as good as what it used to be.
The nearest significantly large tree would probably be outside city limits.
Shit. And how far is that from here?
Longer than you'd probably be expecting.
So it's definitely going to be quite the walk. Ah, okay. All right. Well, I hold out a hand. I do apologize, like I said before, I apologize for all my shenanigans and whatnot, and hopefully no hard feelings until we have a nice conversation again. Take care, Leosin. Sir Leosin.
Just don't do it again.
You got it. Put my hand down, I basically walk away.
Alright, yeah. Since Sledge isn't responding, we will head
thank
to the
God.
meeting.
Alrighty. Alright, so you guys go to the chambers. Gotta add. How you guys going in?
How?
Yeah, like who's going in first?
I'm going. I want to lead.
Okay.
I'll go second.
Hadroon will be right behind Nyla.
Amir's gonna be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle.
Also somewhere in the
Before
middle.
we step in, Timber's gonna basically pipe up saying, Timber's basically gonna pipe up saying, "I'm probably gonna sit this one out
No.
just for my
No.
own well-being."
Everybody in the meeting.
You need to be here.
I don't want to be in the same room with Melindrak in case Melindrak might be in there.
Relax.
They know
Don't want
who's
to make
with
things.
us. They know who's with us.
This is too important of a meeting not to be here.
All right.
Elsie.
I will even use the same chamber ones that has all of the names for everybody, for those that are needing it.
I'll basically be the last one in.
And you want to know what's really funny? We've been
no,
playing
I'm
this
last.
campaign for a while,
Mhm.
and I realized there's one very familiar name for anyone who's played Baldur's Gate 3. Ravengard
Mhm.
I
is in
saw
the
it.
game.
It took me a second.
Just like
Like I said, Timber's
surprisingly,
gonna be the last one.
a character that you see in the back of the room, kind of just sitting there with his head down, was also in the D&D movie Honor Amongst Thieves. So, hi.
We haven't been
Lore
introduced to him
characters.
yet, have we?
Oh, you've been
We haven't been
introduced to him.
introduced.
So sitting in the back corner, even though I'm using the actual like from the book images for a lot of these guys, is Daggalt Neverember.
Oh, his picture changed.
His picture changed. Now a lot of their picture changes
Okay,
because
that's
I'm
why.
using the thing, and so he's just kind of sitting there. You know, the Lord that when you guys first met him was sounding crazy, was appearing to be working with
He was the one that possessed.
Belros, but yes, you found out that he was brainwashed, basically. You guys
Right.
you guys broke him from it, you guys let him live. He immediately came to your aid when you guys were up at Bronavel's place, and then met with you guys again as you guys were entering the Misty Forest. So it's almost like since you guys have freedom from his stupor, he's been right there with you guys. But because last time you guys saw him, he was kicked off the council. He just kind of sits in the back of the room, you know, kind of dreary, head kind of bowed down a little bit, and of course, Remy and Dylan nod. They both look like they're tired from scouting and running around and stuff like that. And surprisingly, as you guys are walking into these chambers, is when the Sending Stone blinks.
Oh.
With a message received.
Cecile will just be like, can't hear him bad at talking anyway.
Okay.
I will. Back up to, I don't know, here or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Amir's gonna back up too.
I'll just nod for Hadrian to sit next to her sister. It's like, you're the talkies. Or Alita, that works.
I'll just be standing
Anybody but me.
right behind Alyssa.
Charisma's my best stat. No. So yeah, I'll pop the sending stone and listen to it real quick.
If you
Okay.
don't want me on the chair, just let me know and I can have Nyla step
You're
out of
good.
the chair for.
You're charisma. You can sit at the table. No? Okay.
Yeah.
You're good. I'll just stand
Okay.
behind Alyssa.
I just figured since I know Hydroon would probably want to sit next to her sister, that's why. I just didn't know how to.
That's fine.
Okay.
I could stand.
Wait, how do I get a disadvantage in persuade? Oh no, that's stealth. Never mind. I was like, wait, how did I get a disadvantage in persuasion? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I'm not even reading the right thing.
So as you go to listen to the message,
Mhm.
there's this, like, you go to, press get it to play.
Yeah.
And the message, like, there's a moment of, like, breath catching
Mhm.
before you just hear, before when it was, like, light and, all right, we got stuff to do, let's go. It's just, like, the tone has got darker. If you misplace those presents, 9 hells don't even cover enough. On top of that, you're alive, which makes me wonder if my blue friend is alive. And if not, I will find you, and I will end you. But why, pray tell, do you have this item? And why did you feel the need to contact me? That's it.
Hold up my hand so that I can reply. Unless the seal wants to reply.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
We're in Waterdeep and we're in the super secure space, right?
Mm-hmm. The
So why the
magical
fuck is this thing
quarters of
working?
hidden passageways, yeah.
So this thing is working right now. But my guess is it can't get scryed on right now. Yeah?
That'd be a good guess, yeah.
And the question is, do you want
But
to
would
risk
they
it?
still know who he's talking to?
No.
Oh, I just realized something. Takisa's never heard me talk. Did she?
No. Because you were...
No.
Because I was
You
held
were hold-
personed. She's seen me, but
But
she...
depending on how he responds to this message, will indicate, oh, this is a different person. And he's going to respond to you in probably a certain way that's going to be like, oh, he knows this individual.
But not as a friend.
That is true.
After the meeting. It's just the old, like, I gotta...
You got to process it. Got it.
Timber, stop harassing the guards. And I'll just walk back in.
Remember the type of chambers you're in, Timbers. Magic doesn't work well here. You go to summon animals and just poof of nothing. All right. The Lady Silverhand is is kind of sitting there. Everyone's just their normal selves. Melindrak has done that whole look down the table. The one in the other room, but he just sits
Yeah.
back. You know, he doesn't have that look of malcontent. He doesn't
I
appear
do the
angry.
head
He's
nod.
just
Yeah. Because of where Timbers is positioned, I don't think you can see him, so I'll do the head nod of like, he's back there.
so yeah. Silverhand starts by, you know, going around the room and asking for updates, kind of deal. In which case, almost everybody has the same thing said. The cult has seemingly vanished. The problem is that Melindrox scouts, Istval, and Raven Guards on their, you know, looking for things missions had found abandoned carts with barrels and crates filled with what would be the cultists' robes and gear that they would normally carry. Their insignia. It makes Brauneville more concerned if they're just abandoning clothing, that locating the cult is suddenly much more difficult. Because they're not parading around in uniforms like other classes and nobilities would. Even though some of them voice that, hey, this might be the end of the cult, we made them go running. Silverhand kind of keeps a stern gaze on you folk because she knows you have info. Like, she kind of gives side glances over to Thunderspells. And he kind of gives her side glances back. And she's like, so... the Slayers. Would you like to enlighten the council on what happened with you?
Where do you want us to begin?
Well, only recently did we last meet in Misty Forest and Melodrox Castle. Apparently in just a few short days. It sounds like you guys have been entertained with information.
That's one word for it, I guess. We had the White Dragon mask. It is no longer in our possession. It was taken from the human embodiment of Tiamat.
There's no noise, but since Amir is next to Cecile and Cecile is standing, there is tension. There's the tension of quiet, seething rage going on in Cecile's body, but it's Stonewall standing perfectly still.
Starting with recent events. Kirk showed back up last night with the word and a message of Zonthal.
You mutter the
Not
word and
speak
almost
it.
they all kind of like look around the table, like murmuring. Like a couple of them seem to have knowledge as soon as you drop the word.
From what we gather, we think one of the masks might be there. I'm somewhat aware that place does not exist, so to speak, as if no one really knows where it is or if it exists. Alyssa's kind of like racking her brain and rubbing her face. She's been stressed out.
Either Zondal is where the blue mask is, or Zondal is where the cult is.
Yeah,
Let's just gonna. Oh,
there's either Zonthal could be a mask, it could be the cult, it could be base of operations, it could be anything. We don't know.
Nyla's gonna like raise her hand just a little bit, and turn to like Alyssa. I don't want to rule out any possibilities, but what if? And this is my theory. And she like looks around the other members, and then straight into Lady Silverhand. But what if Zonthal is a place in the Fey realm? Is there a way we can get there, or is that just pure speculation?
Would I know that right off the top of my head, Tim?
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, so probably at the same time, Cecile and Melindra, maybe. Both just like, no, it's
I
not.
was just gonna lower her head and be like, "Yeah, that was a dumb question. I'm sorry." Continue.
No, not a dumb question. The Fey realm is huge.
I will say, Kirk was trying to fight whatever was happening with him. After casting Silence, he was able to overcome his possession, is what I'm calling it. They have cut out his tongue, and the armor seems to have something to do with controlling him that he wears. And it digs into him. But Alyssa's just kind of like rubbing her forehead, still trying to think of the words to say to the council. Personally, I want to know what you guys think.
I will also look at people because I think Thunderspells doesn't have the info. Because Thunderspells left before Cecile came back, right?
Yes.
Right. So Cecile will staying in her same spot, lock eyes with Thunderspells and Lady Silverhand. Like Takesis is currently on the playing field.
Out of
That is
character,
who
I
took.
did not mention the Sending Stone for a reason.
Oh no, I have also left. But I'll look at them and say Takesis is on the playing field. That's who took the white mask. Myself and Timbers were up with the giants to do a little self-reflection. She appeared, had some heavy time fuckery magic. I don't do magic. Anyway, managed to keep me from moving for I don't know how long. Tim, like solid minute, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, easily.
While also having the giants in a weird time warp. I mean, that area the pools tend to be a little time warpy already, but she made it worse. I guess it's the best. Warned us not to continue trying to stop this. That was it. I didn't get anything else pertinent, right?
Yeah.
Just didn't mention taking the white mask to the altar. How do they react to Takesis?
Silverhand seems to react more than the others. Marshal Ravengard kind of like looks at her and says, "You know something you are not telling us." And the Silverhand's like, how do I word this? Most dragons, pure-blooded dragons, have the ability and magical abilities to take on humanoid forms. And based on how old they are, their form generally reflects that. The more ancient they are, the more tribal their human form looks, or their elven form, or whatever form they have to take. There are even some dragons in existence that are so old, their humanoid form is an animal.
How did Takesis look to me? Actually, it's a wild.
Humanoid, like half-elf looking
Okay.
creature with the whole Rita Repulsa hairdo kind of deal. But even draconic gods have some sort of a form. Back in ancient history, before history was ever written down, Tiamat and Bahamut were the two draconic gods of the universe that they reigned over all. Bahamut primarily good-natured, Tiamat primarily evil. It is through those two entities that the dragons we know today exist.
How? Well, okay, never mind. I guess that's too much for that.
You sound like you're in the other room. What?
I was gonna ask a question, but at the same time, I had to stop and think that you said after Bahamut was the good entity.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, I don't know why my brain was thinking, well, how fearful should we be of Bahamut? But then I was thinking, wait, that's not the one we're facing up against. That's Tiamat. So I'm just gonna, I'll say
You're good.
But back in the Dragon War, when there was a time where elves and humans were just few and far between, and the Faerun was ruled by dragons, there's an all-out war that ended up pushing Tiamat into the Nine Hells. But because of Tiamat's size and power, they weren't able to drag Tiamat in one whole form. And she was split into two forms. One of physical body, the other one of magical essence. Imagine trapping someone. Knock it off, whoever's doing that. Someone, knock it off.
What?
Oh my god.
No, sorry. That's...
What's that?
I
What
just
the
got
fuck
like
is going on?
8 to 10 fucking message bombs. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh my god, chicken!
Oh, I've been watching
Sorry,
that.
my bad. That was my bad.
You can't do it
Sorry.
here. Like,
Yeah, it's not like Discord. My apologies. My apologies.
Do it in Discord chat.
he was doing it. He
I
was
thought it was
doing it in
supposed to-
Discord chat. That's where I was getting annoyed. Badoot, badoot, badoot,
what?
badoot, 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 while I'm fucking talking. It's bad
Wait,
enough
I
that.
apologize. Just, I didn't.
No,
it's
he's
bomb
PMing me.
like that. I really did expect my
But it all showed up within like 5 fucking seconds.
Anyway,
Ugh.
I'm so
Anyway.
sorry. I
thank you.
all right, I'm done typing. I'm done typing.
But yeah, so she explains how it's like they dragged Tiamat's soul and scattered her through the Nine Hells. But her physical body, which was essentially laid to rest and thought presumed dead for millennia, it's still roaming the earth because they weren't able to drag all of Tiamat into the Hells. So, by the ancient tongue Takesis is Tiamat's human form. And although she is still powerful, is weak as frail baby compared to the rest of her. The cult is trying to release the rest of her. I'm guessing that they've done enough rituals and spells to resurrect the physical form that will either aid or hinder their attempts to free the rest of her. Given that she's finally shown her face, tells me that she's ready to play, so to speak. And even I don't know how strong her humanoid form is.
Well, she affected all of the giants there. And held the two of us pretty solidly. Came close, but
And even then, after she mentions she doesn't know how strong Tiamat is, you hear a voice behind all of you. As walking in is this cloaked, white-haired woman.
oh, my hand is on my sword, and I'm immediately turning to face her.
And she just kind of starts walking in and she goes, well, maybe I can answer that question.
I'll look back at Silverhand. It's like, is this kosher?
Silverhand's eyes are wide. And she stands up. What are you doing in my chambers? We are having a discussion. And the figure walks into the door frame and
Seal immediately says, threat or not threat?
Silverhand lifts up her hand like to kind of like, no. We're good.
It's awesome. I will
Was it that
respectfully
at
nod at
resting
the woman.
Position, like military style, just kind of like. So
She, even though she looks unassuming, even Cecile, the few that are closest to her, she's got this like presence that's partially terrifying. Silverhand's just, the rest of the council is looking at Silverhand like, how do you know her? And the woman speaks, I am Elia, and I have come on the behalf of Nymer.
Nymer?
Nymer is a name some of you guys have been told about. After the first meeting of the Council of Waterdeep, Silverhand kept you guys aside as everyone else left, and she mentioned that she had a outside contact.
Oh. Okay.
Who had an outside? Wait, sorry.
Lazy Silverhand.
This is her.
An outside contact of the name of Nymer. And surprisingly, the name would be fairly known to 3 of you, I believe. Aelita, Cecile, and Aimer. Wow, why did I just call you Aimer?
It's all right. Not an unusual name.
All right.
Nymer is a known bronze dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anyone's
Is this the
looked
bronze
at...
dragon we ran into at the hatchling place, or no?
That would be his wife.
Ooh, okay.
Oh shit! Oh, good.
And Silverhand's presence to Elia kind of sits in that same demeanor. Silverhand's like, okay, so you're calling yourself Elia now. She just kind of smirks and says, well, in this form, yes. Anyone who's wanting
Have
to
we
do an
seen this
insight
woman
check?
before?
Uh-uh.
No,
Mm,
I'm good at try. I'm not wonderful at.
Anyone want to try an insight check?
Hello.
My thing crashed. Hold on.
Can I give it a try?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm not in the room anymore.
Oh, thank God.
Well, I mean, you're right there, though.
Yeah, sure. All right, fine. Not bad. Not bad. 18.
That's actually 7.
We got little Miss Showboat over here. Miss Alita.
Good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Aelita, you don't know
Where is
the...
he? Oh, he was right there. Okay.
You don't know this figure, but
Mhm.
you sense her presence. This woman is a member of the Council of Dragons. And you kind of, just by like observing her, she
Mhm.
kind of moves and speaks like a silver dragon,
Okay.
both in temperament and grace.
Oh
Alita
wait,
is
hold on.
going to
Hold on.
visibly relax in her chair.
That means
Alexa,
Alyssa's
stop. Alexa, stop.
fucking sense is going nuts right now.
Yeah.
You know
That's
there's
why-
a dragon standing behind you. You just know it.
Mhm.
Well, I was like, insight check? I want to see how Alyssa would get.
But
I got a
mean,
fucking 1, dude. Like, I guess I'm too stressed. I don't even though senses are like, hey, hello. And my mind's like, no, no, no.
Which is why sitting next to you as Aelita's like practically like from mid up, like spun on her chair, her legs still sitting normally, is like I can picture her like
Just
poking Alyssa like
23?
like trying to explain of the person behind you.
Regardless, Alyssa's still just trying to be respectful. Just listen to the conversation.
But Elia,
oh, Cecile's mentioned numerous times she sucks at these meetings and she hates them, so she does not feel guilt for. Oh, you're
Elia
grabbing swords.
finally like going from like scary presence to a bit of a smirk, kind of gives this weirdly very awkward bow, like curtsy gesture to Silverhand, and she's like, I really hate to interrupt your little powwow, but I was sent to collect your slayers. There
Can
are
I ask why? I immediately look at her and I'm like, can I ask why? Alyssa's just.
we
Can I ask why?
our council leader would like to talk to you.
Is that Namir?
I'm just gonna look at
Or Nemir?
Silverhand, look at Cecile, look back
Which
at her.
one?
Can we at least finish our meeting really quick? If we can make it quick. I want to be respectful to everybody. I promise.
Yes,
We'll go.
I guess I will wait by your guards. And she just kind of
Thank you.
steps back a bit.
Alyssa immediately turns around, looks at Lady Silverhand. Who the fuck was that?
She'll like look back at like Lady Silverhand and she says, not to be uncouth, but that was very rude, in my opinion.
Silverhand's like,
Well,
even to
Silverhand
this
did
day,
say that.
I cannot properly pronounce her full draconic name, but shortened it comes down to
Hearing that,
Kronos.
Alyssa's like, that's why I was losing my mind. Got it. Okay.
But the shortened down
Kronos?
version of her name is Kronos.
Chrono or Kronos?
Kronos.
Kronos. Okay.
CH.
So before we get into any kind of Council of Dragons thing, as you've all been summoned, a couple of things that we had to order here, as she kind of like half-ass gestures to Neverember.
Is it with a U? Chronos? CHRONOS.
CHRONOS.
Well, K-R-O-N-S. K-R-O-N-O-S.
KRONOS.
KRONOS. Sorry.
Not bad for assuming.
Silverhand mentions
Great.
to Daggolt, who is like, starts explaining that he has requested potential access back to our council. Granted, his removal was swift, but considering all that was going on, those were the correct actions at the time. But as you all know, no one can rejoin the table unless we all vote.
Alyssa's just.
But we're not members, though, yeah.
You guys are like honorary members. Your voice still has say.
I'm gonna look at Lady Silver and be like, if you believe he can be trusted, if you believe he is not going to succumb to things again, I will take your word for it. And
Oh, I look at Thunderspells because I can't remember whether or not this was brought up to him regarding Daggolt. Look at him and be like, remember my contract issues?
Mm-hmm.
I pointed Daggolt, same ones.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Have we still not found all of them?
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Hydrune's check showed 4. Right?
Yes. Yes.
4 connected to Belros. I'm unsure whether the 4th is connected to Asandra herself. I know the 3rd, because assuming Sledge is the one with the other contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then Daggolt mentioned a contract he signed with Belros. Yeah.
Yes. And just mentioning it, Daggolt starts ruffling through like his little bag that he's got with him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, after a few minutes of searching, pulls out a very familiar looking scroll.
I'd give that to Thunderspells.
Daggolt like hands it the Thunderspells. He like snatches it like, I need to dispose of this right away.
But it's not perfect, right?
No,
That's
it's
what you
not.
warned for.
Yes.
So there's still a percentage chance. Which just makes Cecile more mad. Like there's some teeth grinding now.
Nope. And even in the room, Thunderspells stands up, puts the roll down, pulls out a component pouch, sprinkles some things onto the contract scroll, meditates, does a couple of hand signs, a couple of ancient words that kind of just feels like it booms throughout the entire room. And then the scroll ignites in this bluish black flame before it's finally consumed the same way the other one was.
So he essentially does like a Naruto jujitsu spell on the scroll.
Super, super powerful dispel
I
magic.
say Thunder Spells is a really old wizard that just
Mhm.
has spells that are no longer. He knows spells that are no longer known in the modern world.
It took, I think, Hydrune, CC, and Kirk to destroy Cecile's in more conventional ways, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just gotta like deep breath. Pass at least 2 destroyed. Know where 1 probably is. Don't know.
So is there a scroll for each one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me what
With
those scrolls again?
Cliff notes. Nyla had a bounty out for her. Her scumbag of an uncle arranged the contracts with a very, very powerful Fey sorceress named Cassandra, who Cecile knows, is super mad at because Feywild bounty rules are different from regular world bounty rules. Like, there's rules she has to abide by in the Feywild. So the fact that she came here and started pulling this shit, eventually there will be a trip by Cecile into the Feywild to inform individuals what the fuck she's doing on the material plane. But we've been busy. So basically there was a contract. Cecile had a contract to take Nyla dead or alive. But worked into
Same
that
with-
contract.
Same with Dagult.
I'm not sure if Dagult's was the same contract for the same thing, but it was the same magic in which our life forces got tied to Felros, who's the scummy uncle, unknowingly.
Okay.
One word to
Which was
die,
learned during
the
a
other is to
torture
drop.
session, which is wild. Sledge, pretty sure he's got contract 3, but there's one more connection that Hydrune, like during Hydrune's initial look, or it was Thunder Spells, one of their looks, they managed to count up 4 connections to Felros.
Okay.
So there's one we don't know. But because there's one we don't know, and Sledge still hasn't been destroyed as far as I'm aware, as long as those 2 also exist, it's kind of like the contracts are tied to each other still in a weird way.
The percentage
there's-
of
Okay.
the percentage of them all dropping dead has lowered. If something were to happen to Felros, who is currently
Really wise.
rotting in the dungeon in Waterdeep, if I recall. Guarded 24/7, because even if he tries to take his own life, he potentially could drop 4 decent fighters in the world today.
Mhm.
Cecile being one of them. It would
Oh yeah,
suck
that
if all of a
contract
sudden
disposal was
Cecile
not
just gets weakened drops.
Yeah. That destroying of the contract wasn't necessarily me looking out for Dagult, but me being like, let's just weaken that connection a bit more. So
So necessarily they didn't sever the connection entirely.
because
Not
there's
until
2
the
more
other-
contracts out in the world
Gotcha.
that are not destroyed.
In which eventually Daggle kind of like approaches the table and he was like, You're talking about these contracts. And
Yep.
Yes.
however you vote I believe I've brought somebody with me that might be able to shed some light into the matter. And he gestures across the room to this female that's just been sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
He introduces her as Ryan Nightshade. And she very much looks like a female tiefling warlock with her garb and dress and symbols and whatnot. But there is a pin upon her lapel that anyone who is familiarized with the Zentarum,
The Black Network.
the Black Network.
Oh, that's the group that was in control in Zonthal
Yeah.
at one point in time. Right.
I will
Zentarum.
say,
There's probably an eyebrow raise from Cecile.
I will say this entire time, Amir has just been observing and whatnot, probably taking glances over at Nightshade because he caught that early on, but just waited for when that
Oh,
information-
specifically to Amir, and
Oh, good.
Rianne is giving you the ups and downs and winks and shit like that.
How does she react seeing Cecile?
She doesn't seem to react to Cecile per se. She's reacting more to Amir,
Mhm.
as if she recognizes him somewhere.
Oh, so she doesn't recognize me. Okay.
And that
Not
armor
directly.
and how tall you have gotten.
I am taller now.
Mm-hmm. And completely different armor. And then
Yeah.
your armor was set up. That was like your most because very rarely you're ever seen out of it.
Yo,
So they
Yeah.
would recognize the armor before they recognize you, and your armor is kitted out now. You will have become unrecognizable to a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you were in
Amir-
your old armor, would she recognize you? Yes. But at the moment, she seems to just, I don't know who this is.
tall lady.
Hmm.
Sweet. Oh no, Cecile is clocked that she has not fully clocked Cecile, which is good.
See, for a lot of people, the Zentarum, the Black Network, is the loose affiliation of merchants, mercs, and guards money can buy. They'll do anything for coin. They'll sell
Oh, no,
information.
I will
for coin.
walk up to Alyssa to fill her in. She's Zentarum. She's Black Network.
Can she be trusted? As it look on
the Zentarum, essentially, in the world of good and evil,
As much as Amir
they
be
can
trusted.
do good. They can do things properly, but they're mostly
Actually,
the smugglers, thieves, rogues, mercenaries kind of deal. They go in and out of the eye of the law in many situations. So to have her brought in by Dagult, he hopefully has information to potentially sell. And gesturing to her as he's introducing her, Dagult explains that this contract that he gestures to Thunderspells that was recently destroyed that he had, there's one that is floating around within the Black Network. And Rianne's like, yes, one of our mercenaries has it. Where they are right now, I do not know.
What is the name of this person?
Once we find him, you shall have him.
So potentially the
Alyssa's
fourth-
rolling her eyes and just thinking to herself, do I really have to give this person some platinum so they'll just fucking tell me? At this point, Alyssa's just like mentally exhausted.
Oh, look at Rion. Like, they didn't give you a name, did they?
All I know is his status. He's one of our mercenaries.
There's an eye roll from Cecile, just like
So
I'll look at
potentially one
Alyssa
of
and
the
be like,
four
it's not
contracts
like
is
you could
floating
trust
around.
any name he would give anyway.
Hmm.
But he's part of the Black Network. He? Them?
He.
Where in Faerun do they usually operate? Specifically, what is their special interest, so to speak?
Special interest?
He's a mercenary.
Hmm.
What's his specialization?
Espionage. Infiltration.
So tempted to give it. You know what? I got low charisma. Uh, I'll make a pointed look at Amir.
Oh, is she gesturing to a mirror? Are you this guy?
I look at Amir. No.
Oh.
I lock eyes with Amir. Because I
Oh.
hear espionage and infiltration.
Yeah, it's not a specialty that is really popular among the Sword Coast, more or less. Because with how many kingdoms and magical barriers and things that can keep the ruffians out.
Badger, I DM'd you.
There we go. Now you can hear me. Sorry, my audio is being glitchy. Nyla's gonna set down a parchment of paper that's rolled up. And I wonder if I can use my strength check for dexterity to see if I can slide it to Lady Silverhand. What would I need to roll so she would get it? Actually, wait, no. Would that even be considered a dex check, Al?
What?
Sliding a piece of paper towards, it's like a rolled up in parchment paper.
You trying to do it secretly?
Not secretly, I was just.
Just get up and walk over to her and hand her a piece of paper.
Okay.
No one at the table's gonna stop you.
Yeah, okay. So Nyla will walk over to Lady Silverhand, and she will give Lady Silverhand a rolled up parchment of paper, and then she'll respectfully bow her head in a curtsy manner, and then make her way back to her chair next to Alyssa.
Okay.
Just gonna raise
When-
an eyebrow.
When the information from Nightshade is passed down that it was espionage, and Cecile gives that look. Amir is just sitting there thinking. He gets confused for a second, kind of checking himself, like, did I take something? And then it clicks. Like, he like he knows who it could potentially be, but it's like, but, huh? Doesn't make sense. Because he's like he knows, but he doesn't know at the same time. But it's clear that it's not him.
Okay. So
He
you
just
got
gives
the,
that.
I think I might know this person.
Yeah,
maybe.
but it's very, very not sure, maybe, but that requires going down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
But yeah. And he just kind of gets lost in his head.
All right. Well,
Yeah, Rianne's like makes the comment of she's only here with Neverember because he's paid her a hefty sum to supply information, specifically on Xanthal that you guys questioned earlier.
Hmm.
And she continues to explain that her affiliations are very interested in said tower.
Wonderful.
But first it needs to be located, which they're certain they have an area locked down. But at the same time, no one's been able to get through its defenses either.
What kind of defenses?
Magical.
Talking wall of force or
Do. More or less in a hedge maze, a magical hedge maze around the outside of it.
okay. People come back alive?
Well, they've sent a few scouts to take a look, but never heard from them after that. Essentially, the tower was once the home of Dracolich traditionalists.
That's what it is. Couldn't remember. Okay.
And as of right now, there are two individuals that are in control of it. A dragon soul named Jorgen Paul and his trusted lieutenant, Iskander.
Have we heard either of those names before?
Mm-mm. And even Silverhand only knows those names through history books. But as you guys are kind of thinking about it for a little bit, Rianne kind of eyes Dagult. You want to tell them why we think we know where it's at? And Dagult just kind of goes, because you found dead cultists in the area.
You didn't mentioned this before.
Daigle kind of like shrugs as, other than hearing about this magical tower recently, I don't know its significance. In which even Silverhand explains that, yeah, well, he's been out of these last couple of council meetings to really, he's a little behind on everything.
Alyssa just takes a deep breath and is like, I'm gonna try to remain as respectful as fucking possible here, but you're aware.
Well, that Daggle's like, I didn't know, sorry,
It's fine.
but here's the information we have.
Cecile just sighs. It's like it's a black network. A dead body is a dead body.
Yeah.
And if they took their cloaks off, it's just another dead body.
Yeah.
How did you know they were cultists?
And he kind of gestures to Rianne.
Oh no,
Is-
that was to Rian.
Oh. How do you know they're cultists? Because they wear the robes and the insignia of the dragon cult.
But weren't robes and stuff found? Like in barrels and stuff?
Yeah. Apparently these were one of the few that before they got the order.
How many dead cultists are you talking? And where?
When?
Well, what would you call a battalion in soldier terms?
Jesus fucking Christ. Alyssa immediately is just like, for fuck's sake. Okay, when was this?
A few weeks back.
I'm doing the mental math of where the fuck we were.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Does that line up with the night Kirk was taken?
Yes.
Not sure Cecile would put these pieces together, but Al's trying to.
Mm.
If Amir
Think we now
wasn't
know why
focused on his own
Takesis is in
problem, he
play.
would.
I'm looking at Lady Silverhand and the other dragon lady person. Kronos. Oh wait, she's back in the other room.
She's-
Never
she's
mind.
good. Yep.
Rianne
Lady
seems to
Silverhand.
have this like smirk about her as you guys are like conflicted with all this information, and she's like, feel free to ask more questions. I have information to sell. I just need to know what information to give.
How much for everything? Alyssa just flat out. How much for everything?
That is a large amount of money. That's all you hear Amir say.
Oh no, Cecile is also
Tell me.
amused. But Cecile also knows the stores that Alyssa has.
Just.
Now, ask specifically, what information are you looking for?
For fuck's sake. This whole thing has my head in a spin. I'm just gonna look at Cecile like, what?
At some point, it's actually Melondrock that stands up and slams his fist on the table. Tell us everything you know of the fucking cult. Oh, the Cult of the Dragons. That's what you're looking for? As she kind of like side-eyes Melondrock over the audacity to demand it. Well, it's the reason why I think we know where Zonthal's tower is, because not only did we find a group of soldiers there a few weeks back, but what was his name? Severin made an appearance. But Jorgen Paul and his lieutenant essentially told him to fuck off. After his troops died to the hedge maze, he buggered off. My spies have been watching that place since. So it's interesting now that you've told me that the cultists have been shedding their skins, more or less, their armor, because they could be anywhere. Which is going to anger my affiliates, because they'll be harder to track.
So
Check their
he's
mouths.
telling us
Essentially,
He's telling us
she's
he-
telling you that she knows where Zonthal's tower is.
Yeah, I know. That's literally what I was
where-
about to ask. You know where this tower is.
Yes.
Do you know if it's a base of operations or if it's where they have a mask?
Considering no one's been able to get inside, I don't know what lays within. I just know it was once a Draco Lich place, so maybe this dragon mask thing that you speak of, maybe they have one. Why else would
Would
this
you-
Severin character want in?
I'm gonna
Hadrian's
look at her. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead, Daedra.
Hadrian's gonna turn to her and say, "But you know, there's potentially people already inside the tower."
Yeah. The two that have owned the tower, as far as I can remember.
The two. Who are the
The
two?
two.
Jorgen Paul and his lieutenant, Iskander.
I'm gonna look at her.
So Jorgen, Jorgen, last name Pawl. Jorgen Paul.
And what was the other one?
Iskander, Iskander.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at her. Ask, when did the Black Network lose control of that site?
When did who? Sorry.
When did the Black Network
When
lose
did the
control?
Zhentarim lose control of that site?
Never had direct control. We've had affiliates try to get Jorgen's attention to potentially buy it off of him. Imagine the base of operations for the Zhentarim in
So
a
I
place that
definitely
has a
remember-
magical hedge maze and can keep armies out. It'd be
So
perfect.
I
Just
vaguely
know
remember, Tim,
experience.
you mentioning the Zhentarim
Mm-hmm.
in there, right? Like that was Cecile's memory, roughly.
Yeah.
Like the Zhentarim
Um,
were actually in there at one point.
Yes,
thought.
yes. Like hundreds of years
Yes.
ago when the Zhentarim first started, they had control of the tower. They lost it throughout wars and insurrections. It is currently being held by Jorgen and Iskander and have been able to hold it since.
So, do we know of any Zhentarim people?
You're looking at
Other than Mir and her.
Orion is.
Yeah.
So, Rion,
I'm gonna look at her and
you
be like, how old is your oldest member in the Zhentarim right now? As in
Oldest member?
age and affiliation, I guess.
Probably my father, who is a tiefling of maybe 250.
So your father could potentially know how to get past the maze.
If he knew that, I would have used it to get in already.
Cecile shakes her head.
But if he's the oldest one in the current Zentarum network, it means that the Zentarum were essentially wiped out and restarted in that time frame.
So, Cecile, to
yeah,
clarify. Cecile, to clarify, like, my memory of them was a memory of them being in control.
Mm-hmm.
My memory of this swallows the pill and then just says is roughly from 500 years back, 600, give or take. So if he's only 200, unless there's written records anywhere, which with them, I doubt it unless a contract was involved.
Yep.
Yeah, but say in the Zentarum history is sometimes hard to find because whenever they're discovered, they generally grab as much as they can and destroy the rest. They don't like paper trails. So if any information that was written probably doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
Which is probably one of the main reasons why the Centaurum's always hunting and buying new information.
Yeah. Even at the mention of the timeline, Amir's just like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Cecile is just racking her head now. So, you know where it is, looking at Rion. Alright, I think Tim's going pee. Which means he can hear every word. He keeps his headset on. We just can't hear him because his mic's on the desk.
Alyssa's gonna look at Cecile and just be like, "We need to get what we need to get from her and from them, and then we need to go to this other meeting. We gotta wrap this up." And I'm not trying to like rush anybody.
Oh
but
no, yeah. Where Rion? Where is Zunthal? Precisely. Yeah, he's going to the bathroom. I'm also gonna go to the bathroom since we're running on battery.
5-minute bathroom break.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we get a 5-minute breath break?
Wait, I hear him in the distance. I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah, we can
Alright,
take a
gotta
quick break.
All right, thank you.
You want soda?
Top fucking tier. Well,
Quick little 5 minutes. All right,
Adrian's gonna
we back.
kneel down by the chair by Alyssa and just kind of put her arm on each chair of Attila,
Each chair.
and Alyssa,
Alita.
Alita, and
Alita's.
Alyssa.
I think that.
Alita's sitting on your
Yeah.
left side.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna be in between Alyssa and Alita, just kind of kneeling down.
Just imagining Attila the Hun now in D&D.
Yeah, so Silverhand's like, we don't have to vote him in right this second. I'd let you guys think on it. We have new information on the table.
Did she
the-
point out where the fucking? I asked, where is Xanthal?
Yeah, she'll point out
Okay.
where it's at. Surprisingly, on the opposite mountain range of the Tomb of Vedris. So an area you have kind of been in before.
Right, was that the area Cecile thought?
Yes, just
Cecile
on the
had an idea.
other side of the mountain range.
So yeah, Cecile is just like, I did have it. Okay.
We were close. Didn't even know it.
Yeah, the
Right.
council kind of agrees that Xanthal's probably the next best thing to try to go, and hopefully they have Mask, and if we can acquire a second one, then we know where all 5 masks are and what to do about it. Yeah, as of right now, everyone's just going to, they're tending to their wounded, gathering, recalling their troops and just trying to prepare for another assault or defense against another assault. The one worry that the whole room seems to have is a lot of the cult is now plainclothed. So even in, they make comments about even in their own cities, they don't know if the person that they're making eye contact with is a citizen or a cultist or an assassin, or you never know. So everyone's kind of like on high alert. But Silverhand's like, well, once we will reconvene after the Slayers investigate Xanthal, and afterwards we will decide if Neverember joins the council again. Regardless, though, as she kind of glances over at Dagult, be like, keep your resources and troops handy, as we might need to call on them regardless of your status at the council. And he's just like, I completely understand, everything's being arranged.
Alyssa's just gonna sigh and be like, look, I trust your judgment. If you think he can be back on the council, I'm for it. Right now, I don't think we can really afford to spend extra energy trying to think about whether a person does or doesn't belong on a council when the fate of the fucking world is at stake. Excuse my language, but there's much more important things. So if you think he deserves to be on it, fine.
As you say that, the entire right side of the table, Istfall, Ravengard, Winterhound, they're all like, the more the merrier. They have troops. We need troops. We never know where they're going to strike. The other half of the table, Remy's like, I agree. The more help, the merrier, even though we don't trust half of them right now. Brian Neville's like, recalling all the crap that happened at, with Felros and that whole area. And, because part of that was affected of, he had an army marching on his keep. So he's like, I don't know. They didn't see all that enthused before.
If he fucks up again, we will deal with it in harsher ways. But right now, we can't afford to not have him on here, really.
Yeah, everyone kind of, you have a solid yes, let's do it on the right side of the table. The left side is from bottom to top is yes, I don't know, yes, and Melondrock straight up like I don't trust him. But majority rules.
I'm gonna look at Daggle. And I'm gonna point at Rion. This way. Anyway, but like you're the one paying her for the information?
Yes.
It's just a nod of like, it's his own money. Brought somebody with valuable information. Valuable information. Because she, pointing at Rion, sure as fuck was not going to offer it up for free or, of her own kind heart. Yeah? Looking at Rion.
Yeah. Daggle straight up mentions he doesn't trust the Zentarum, but he trusts her with as much coin as he can throw at her.
All right then.
I look
He
at
even said-
Rion. I look at Rion and go, he paid you more than they did, didn't it?
You have no idea.
I think I have it.
So with that, Silverhand just kind of nods, says, gestures to the empty seat, welcome back to the council. And he just slowly works his way around the table before plopping next to Istful, who's just like, gives him that little fist bump of like, all right, welcome back.
Alyssa's
Alright,
just gonna be
I'll-
like, just please, do not do this again. Please.
As long as I'm not being the target of any kind of brainwashing, I think we're okay.
All right.
I will nod at Melondrock with that understanding of like, yeah, trust is not.
Compared to the last council, Melondrock's entire attitude is very sour. Especially after what happened in the Misty Forest. His mood went from like, hey, I'm cool. Like, I think before in the first council, he donated the most money to Black Falls
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah, he did.
Now he's just straight up like, yeah, y'all can go fuck yourselves, like attitude. He's become the grumpy old grouch. And yeah, meeting starts to get adjourned as everyone's like, all right, we know what we're doing. As soon as Silverhand adjourns the meeting, Dellen and Remy come running up to Cecile. And they're kind of do that whole like, very quick brisk run over, and then they're like, hey, buddy. And Dellen's like, what's wrong? You can't fool us. You can't fool us. Something's wrong. What's going on?
Fuck you both. Why the fuck did neither of you say anything?
Does Alyssa notice how uncomfortable Cecile is?
She looks irritated. Like, it's
Alyssa's
so
If
gonna
you-
be like, "Is
If
this
you looked
urgent
any
or-"
more stoic, I swear you'd turn to stone. What is going on? Like, you can tell that Remy and Dellen have like broken that mold of like, we're leaders of our own regiment to, dude, what the fuck?
how the meeting's done. Yeah.
Yep.
When were you guys gonna tell me it's been 600 years? Give or take. All the
Remy's like, I haven't been alive that long. And Dellen's like, has it been that long?
God fucking elves. Which is hilarious because I'm an elf. Essentially.
But you're a little bit more Fey touched compared to the rest of them.
Mm,
Dellen has been
Oh, that's
such
right,
a
Remy's
outlander that he doesn't even remember
Right.
how long it's been. And Remy's not old enough. She's like, what?
how
600
old
years?
is Remy?
About like 340. She is
Right, okay.
like middle age for most
Mhm.
elves. But Dellen doesn't even know how old Dellen is anymore.
Look at Dellen. It's been. I was on that vendor, for lack of a better word, for about 500 years.
Well, damn.
Fuck, did you not just take my ass out?
Reasons.
Stare, glare at him.
Because you think either one of us had the ability to knock sense into you? No, you had to go find the giants for that. The only ones maybe strong enough to knock any sense into you.
After 500 years?
Everybody grieves their own. Some people need a week, some people need 500 years. Everyone's a little different.
Like there keeps being this spike of rage and exasperation.
And then realizing that compared to the two of them, they're all like, we don't know how to stop you.
I mean, if you think about it, you're grieving for like 5 months compared to like average human.
It's not the time, it's what I did during the time.
To be honest, that wasn't you.
Blood.
How much? I look at Dellen. How many?
I mean, I lost count, but to be fair, if it helps, most of the people that you did kill were bastards and needed to die anyway.
So that's the point, and I just...
Remy's like, does she know about Old King Cross? And Dellen's like,
Cross?
probably not.
No.
There was a king by the name of Cross up in the northern mountains that had this whole tirade, pissed off the Harpers and the Emerald Enclave because he wanted to destroy a good chunk of our force in the Sword Coast in order to make giant cities. And their people were destroying the forest anyway. There was a construction yard, a couple miles in size. Ran into you one day. You tore down that operation so fast. It would have taken 100 people of ours to go in and do that. And even then, there would have been casualties. You walked in, you warned them, they drew arms against you, and you put them down. And they needed to be stopped anyway. The final nail in the coffin is when King Cross himself decided to challenge you. And watching you going up against a, shorter human king, it was entertaining to watch. He didn't stand a chance. I think out of that entire battle, you walked away with a cut on your arm. They couldn't touch you.
That's what this it's like, oh, that, okay.
Since then, what used to be the Battle of Old King Cross has been rebuilt into a small village where people are thriving there now. Only they knew that a few hundred years earlier, it was a giant battle between a lustful, evil king and an elf with a sword. Well, I think you were dual blading at the time.
Just grab a hand over my face.
Despite your rage, you never really went after anybody willy-nilly. You only went after those with a death wish, or Remy just kind of like awkward smiles and goes, well, the last top 5 of our most wanted list got handled.
Lovely.
If I really think about it, the Harpers owe you a great sum of money.
I just give a look, just like
Have
I
you
already
wondered what?
returned.
And
already
Remy's like, have you
returned
ever
Remy's.
wondered why I've never charged you for anything?
Really had your people put pocketing? I know I paid for things.
Yeah. And you always seem to have the same
Christ.
amount of coin back the next morning.
Great, cool. All right. I did give Remy her husband's effects, yeah? I think
Yeah.
that was solved in a previous visit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just look at the two of them and be like, come back to that. But
But even at the beginning of the council meeting, you came in stoic, you stepped out for a minute, you came back angrier than you were before.
Dylan and Remy were working with Sludge, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Trying to figure out how much to review. Like, I assume this place is still full of everyone, right?
I mean, they're kind of talking amongst themselves. Some of them have left.
I'll pull them into. I'll pull Remy and Dylan specifically into a corner. Just we're gonna talk for a sec, and then we're gonna go meet dragons. Apparently,
I can even see Amir
really
just
should be
randomly
charging.
following because, his boss is in the room.
Yeah, Amir still in. I'll probably drag Cecile. With,
No?
Amir already knows the conversation. It's like, all right, that's less that I have to debrief. There's
Mhm.
somebody else that I need to talk to.
Oh.
The other, not really a boss, but kind of a boss, but not really.
Not
Oh.
even.
Mutual coworker.
Yeah.
Which I'm
But
thinking
yeah,
other
I
things
will.
as well.
I mean, I'll wait Alyssa to come talk with Remy and Dylan because they. I mean, I did tell Dylan that Sledge was in the forest,
Mm-hmm.
but these two I trust to tell them about the other thing we have.
Okay.
Kind of
Okay.
looking around and whispering and away from other people. I'll look at Timber sitting on the bench, be like,
Disappear.
Timber's just basically.
"Don't you have an
just
apology?
stares
You
basically
gotta
at him.
do. You have an apology?
There's sitting there that kind of feel like there's eyes staring at him. Just one of those little slow turn of the head, look over and just hi, wave, and then back to staring off the space.
Timbers. Timbers.
Yeah.
Go apologize. Go apologize.
But
Please.
I don't want to die.
Just
You're not gonna die."
tell them what you did to after. Tell them what you did after. Like you went to the Giants. You saw what you were becoming. Go apologize. Even if they lay into you, an apology may be met with anger, but down the road, it will be understood.
Timbers basically gets up, kind of gets a stretch, and all right,
Thank you.
just open
So-
the door, walk right in.
Yeah, I'll get Remy and Dylan and pop out the stone. Uh, and show it to them. And I won't use, because more than likely, he's been going by sledge, yeah? Everywhere. Like, honestly, I'm not sure there are other people who know his regular name, but I will hold out the stone and say Birth has the other half of this. Kirk gave it to us.
Oh. So you've been talking to him?
He can't talk.
Kirk can't talk.
His tongue is gone.
What are you talking about, Birth? Kirk's tongue is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hopefully fix that later when we get it back. I don't care how much money it takes to pay a cleric. Anyway. But Birth has the other half of this.
Does he know you have it?
Not exactly.
He knows Amir had it because we weren't sure how closely he was being tracked by the other side. Granted, from the conversations that have happened, I don't think he's under a strict control. Is that a good assessment, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
Of a little bit? Like, we don't, like, honestly, the fact that he's sending Kirk a pep talk, it seems like he and Kirk are trying to work something from the inside. But Birth doesn't seem to be as controlled. We did let him know that his gifts are safe, which I think will help.
He understood the reference?
Yes.
Are you waiting to talk to him, or are you waiting to reply?
Yes. And I'll look at Alyssa and be like, he did reply.
We just haven't listened to it yet.
Oh no, Amir and I listened to it.
What did he say?
Well, he threatened Amir, basically, to give him the worst death possible. Presents were harmed in any way. And then his follow-up was inquiring the status of our blue-feathered friend, since we had the stone, whether or not Kirk was still alive. I was just trying to decide if I wanted Amir to respond or if I was going to respond. Because my thought is, Amir can tell him. I don't know how much Sledge trusts Amir.
Yeah.
If
And
I
at
give him my
one
word,
point in time, he did come to us asking for help.
yeah. My only
Maybe
concern is
we
if they're
should
watching him and they've got word that he's, well, Excuses hasn't heard me talk. I'm just worried about what they might pull from the Earth if I do talk to him.
Do you want me to say it? Because I will. Like I said, he's come to us before for help. He had to have trusted us a little bit to do that.
I was worried what they pull from him after we talk. I don't know if just our voices in his head is fine. Like I look at Remy and Dylan.
I don't know.
Like,
We
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what kind of spell or control he's under.
I understand.
We
being
don't even
trusted.
know. We don't even fully understand what the Drakhorn does to an individual besides hypnotize them.
Well, he didn't seem hypnotized.
Yeah, he seemed like he was talking like normal. Actually, more positive. It's weird.
Trying to help Kurt fight
Yeah.
it. By the sound of it, he sent some cheery wake-up message.
Which
Mm.
kind of gives me a creepy feeling of wondering maybe that's what was giving Kirk the ability to push through, and what if Kirk loses his ability to push through now?
Kirk was already trying to fight it before he was in the silence.
He gave you. You said Kirk gave you that before
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
that
reason.
he
They're
lost control
right
again.
Yeah, that and the swimming.
I think Kirk is. Call it a hunch, even a bad one, but I think Kirk is telling us we might need to at least stay in contact with Sledge, if not eventually team up with him, even if it's temporary measures.
Oh,
I'm gonna hold up a finger. Walk in, the Lady Silverhand.
okay.
How much can be pulled from an individual's mind regarding past sending messages they might have received?
Depends on the strength of the spell. Depends on the mind of the person being afflicted, and the willpower to resist. Any strong mind can break magic spells of mind control or thought reading. It's too much of a variable to know for sure.
It's not. Thank you.
Gesturing to thunder spells, even at his experience, if anybody here was strong-willed and strong-minded, even he would struggle to pull information.
Thank you. I will go back to the other 3. Hold up the stone to my lips. Because even if they check Kirk's mind, I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He didn't see me at all that day.
yeah, you're right.
So if they didn't see him give you the stone, but I have it,
Okay.
I don't know. Takesis hasn't heard me talk. We'll see. I'm gonna hold up the stone. And in response, because he threatened Amir with death if anything happened to
Yeah.
the gifts. I will hold up the stone, kick it off with, you have my word. Nothing. Nothing will happen to those gifts. It's 10. I swear on my life. Oh, what was Kirk's? Thunder something? Thunder Wings? I'm at 15 right now.
Yep.
What was Kirk's, like, handle? More or less.
You guys would call him Zapdos so much that
We do, but I don't know if Sledge knows that.
I think Sledge did call him Thunder Wings in his message.
Yeah.
Insert that name for word 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Thunder Wings, something like that. Thunder Wings. Left alive. Did we say Zonthal in the first message? Can't remember.
Nope.
No.
Thunder Wings left alive.
7
With
left.
Zonthal?
Hmm?
7
7
left.
With Zonthal.
I don't want to give the actual name. Thunderwings left alive. He mentioned
5 left.
some hazardous shrubbery. Wait, sorry. You mentioned. So I got 2 words, right?
Yep.
Shrubbery. Next lead, basically. Being like that's the next place we'll be looking into. I got lots of practice with Kaitos. How do I get out all the information I need to without getting out the information? Granted, I don't have to be as cryptic with him.
True.
Mhm.
Again, there's like a 5-minute silence. The stone reacts as if it's your message is being heard. But somewhere between the waiting and the apologies and the chit chats aside, and even hearing the woman Elia kind of clear her throat, I don't have a day. Your sending stone pings once more.
Let's listen to it now and then go. We'll respond after.
So you go to play the message with all 4 of you standing there. And it goes off the lines of Eladrin, forgive. I am paying respects in your forest. Gifts safely in your care. Next lead at first light. The anger sound from like the previous message has toned way down. From that. The last couple of messages that he sent were kind of angry, and this one is just like, okay. Remember the last time you guys spoke in person, he was willing to just completely surrender himself. So
Yeah.
by on your word alone that says that the kids are okay and your kids are okay, Kirk's okay, and you guys are on the next lead. Yep. He's just like, all right, my kids are in your care, Kirk's okay. First light, I'll head that way.
You're like Dallin and Remy.
Yeah, they're both just like, all right.
We gotta go. I'm sorry. We gotta cut this short, but we gotta go.
Mm-hmm. Amir and Rian, what's your little chat about, real quick?
Question.
Yes.
About the way that she was looking at me. Does that hint that there was potential relationship in the past, or just the familiarity?
Familiarity.
Okay.
She's the type of tiefling warlock that in the most bluntest forms, she's been eyeing up Amir as if the room wasn't filled with people, she would attempt to take you right here, right now.
Okay.
But can't, so it's just gonna sit there and
I was gonna
devilishly
ask for
smile.
specification on the type of taking, and I understood that it's probably both. So continue.
Understood. With that in mind, for anyone who's hearing, you hear Amir go into his normal, like, business speaking, flirting, trying to get whatever information he needs or wants.
It's almost
the whole
like you
point is-
went rogue and bard in the same sentence.
Yep. But essentially what he's trying to do is gather more information on the other person of espionage. It's like, hey, I kind of know this individual. It seems like you have more information, but not quite a bit. And it seems like we need to find this person pronto. I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
Oh, I think
Just
we're
another
well
job.
past scratching backs, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes.
It's not the first time you've come to me for information.
Should not have been
No.
needed.
Probably not the last time.
And not all the times have you been able to pay either. I still have the ability to call up some debts. Perhaps.
You'll have to remind me about those later. But I'm sure with everything that's going on, I'll definitely be able to repay you back. That is, as long as I can survive.
See that you do.
Always try.
And as you kind of like walk away, good luck finding your gap. All right. Tibbers, what do you say to Melindrock? What?
What do you say to a man who looks at you with utter malice and preying on your downfall after you mutilate their only child?
See, this is you.
I
This is,
don't think.
let me hold on.
I
Backtracking
don't
because
think-
you are assuming. You haven't even made eye contact with the guy since you walked in.
No, I know, but after what happened at his castle, yeah, I kind of get that vibe.
Yeah, you get the vibe, but it doesn't mean that you get that look. As
Yeah,
you walk in,
but-
he just stares at you. Neither of good nor negative emotions. Just stares.
I take a seat, and I just kind of put my hands together, I lean on the table, put my hands together, and a little pyramid kind of thing, just fingers to my lips, trying to think of the words while I'm staring at the table, staring down at the table. Because honestly, saying my bad is not really gonna cut it with this one.
And because you're sitting at that end of the table, there's even a moment where between Istval and Braunhavel, you might want to go to that end of the table, laddie. I don't know if he can hear you so well. The king is old, you see. Both of them have like ear to ear smirks as it's like, no. You got to go over there. You're gonna go apologize. Go do it right.
He gets up and he goes over here to Never Ember. Right over here by Nyla's like, excuse me. Look at Never Ember. Look at it. I look over at Braunhavel and Istanbul, and be like, would this be good enough?
Yeah, better.
Timber takes a deep breath and he looks at Lady Silverhands like, Madam, Lady Silverhands, if you would be so kind, if I could just have the room with King Melindrock, just me and him.
Yeah, she started excusing everybody else. They all go about their way.
Nyla will follow suit behind someone to confirm with the letter.
Timber's gonna go ahead and take a seat in Never Ember's take a seat in Never Ember's seat. He's gonna try to think of the words to say, and he just glances over at Melindrock. And just Timber says that I want to say I kind of know how you're feeling right now, but in
You
order
have
to
no
say
idea.
that, yeah. Although I can say I do know how you feel because I too have lost a child, but it's a little hard for me to say that since what I've done. And I just want to say I do not blame you for the way you feel, what you wish of me. I do not blame you at one bit.
Be blunt. I
I know what
hardly
I've done.
feel you came to discuss how I feel. What is it?
I know what I've done was absolutely uncalled for. It definitely crossed so many moral lines. And I already know there's not enough words that could describe an apology strong enough that could redeem from my actions. But I want to give you this. I just wanted to apologize for what I have done. I don't expect you to forgive me because I already know that, like I said, I crossed so many moral lines that an apology just is way out of the question. But I do hope that your son can rest in peace, free from pain, free from the evils of this world.
Is that all?
Yes, sir.
And without saying too much, he gets up and heads out.
Timbers just basically continues to sit there for a minute.
Well, probably not too long, because I would probably expect that Alyssa's trying to round everybody up, so you guys can.
After I see Melindrock leave, I'm gonna walk into the room
Yeah.
and be like, Timbers, thank you. I know that was hard, and based on his look when he left, no, it was
Oh no,
hard,
that was a
but
good reaction.
I'm glad you did it. But we gotta go. So
Yep.
come on.
Yeah.
Lady Silverhand, may I stay back and discuss about the terms of the letter?
No. You have places to be.
Nope. Get out.
I want all the Slayers,
and,
Nyla. Come on.
And with that, she waves over at Elia. They are free. Take them. We'll be here when you're ready. And Elia just kind of whips around and goes, all right, about time. Come along now.
I'm gonna like give a nod to Rion.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hmm. No. I'll give the wink of I'm more familiar with your business than you think, and then go.
All right. So Elias leads you outside. And not to the courtyard, but like behind the keep. There's a field. You know, most people would, ride horses and stuff like that back there and whatnot. Big open space, and this is like, all right. I just need you to quickly follow my instructions. But she's like, but wait. And you can start seeing her start to transform. And after about a minute of big old magical light enlarging to a gargantuan-sized creature,
Good God.
Silver Dragon. She mentions in common that her back is plenty big for everyone to ride on. And she asks that you all be willing, because where she is taking you must remain secretive. And as you guys climb up and get comfy, there's this aura about her that is activating more or less a sleep spell.
Oh shit.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Would Amir stay behind at this point? Because he's technically not part of...
Probably head back to Blackfall.
It's a tiny problem.
Uh-huh.
It's not a thing I can control. I'm just point blank immune.
Uh-huh. But that's okay, because knowing that a few of you are immune to magical sleep, as she hands in one little claw what looks to be rings. Well, for some of you, bracelets. In the terms of what they can do, they're extremely powerful and extremely rare. And if placed on and become willing, it nullifies your immunity to sleep.
Okay.
And she very
Bring us
plainly mentions it. She's like, I know everyone, not everyone is gonna be able to do that. So the couple of you elven types receive
know.
it. And it's like, I promise we'll be there in one piece. It's just the location of where we are going must remain secret. So while the rest of your team is going, yeah, I'm not sleepy. They're just passing out. The two of you that remain,
The elves.
yeah,
Yo. Goddamn elves.
pop on the ring or bracelets, whichever one you want, and become willing.
Oh, it's somewhat of like with a wince of like for a split second, it's like, do we dream during this or no?
That is a good question. Some do, some
This is a
don't.
good question.
Fuck. I put the ring on anyway.
Lito puts the ring on.
And it has a weird effect because as soon as you put it on, you're like, yeah, see, it's not doing it. Oh boy. And you're just like suddenly hit with this like drowsy wave. And immediately the dragon's like, just don't fight it. It's just easier if you become willing.
More heavy size, and then yeah.
Yeah, once you sit there and go, yeah, I am willing, you guys conk out.
It's just like a platform on her back, or what?
She's gargantuan.
Are we riding?
Yeah,
her bareback,
but
or
if she's
is it
flying, so
saddle?
She's got her ways. She's flying everybody there.
but we're just all on her back.
I'm not gonna question it personally, but I
I am
feel where you're coming
currently
from. I have concerns.
between the two sisters. Like Cecile is honestly doing a smaller people on the insides. It's just like we'll flop out with arms across people. Cause it's just like we're on her fucking back and we're gonna be asleep. I don't trust this shit. Cocks out and just has arms splayed out. So
See it now as Cecile bear hugs the party to sleep.
wasn't the intent. It's just if I'm 7'3", that means I probably have a 7'3" arm span as well. So it's an arm span of like at least 3.5 feet to each side.
So you're holding 3 or 4 people.
I'm probably the heaviest person in the party due to my height. So it's just keep everybody on top of drag. Okay.
I mean, if it's any
Don't
any misconception, silver dragons smell like rain.
Okay.
That's what they call. Yeah, this one is a.
Actually, it's probably a case of like gnomes are closest in, and then the next lightest, which one of them's probably Alita. I don't know of the two sisters and Cece. I think Cece is a considerable weight, so I don't know of the two sisters who weighs more than the other.
It's probably me.
You weigh more?
Probably.
Okay.
She might be taller, but
You have more muscle. You have
I'm
like a higher
barbarian.
strength store. Yeah. So there's it's gnomes and then Alita and Hydroon. And then the ends where it's Cece and Alyssa, there's like hand gripped into belts. There. Got everybody as much as I can. Before finally accepting the sleep and going to sleep.
Pedrune is 5'10" and weighs 160 pounds.
Hadrian's also just a warlock. You have a wizard.
Yeah.
You have a fucking barbarian.
Yeah, so I'm probably.
Well, Hadrian's warlock fighter.
So just to throw it
X-Fighter.
into craziness,
Mhm.
that is the Silver Dragon's draconic name that I posted in the lounge chat.
Jesus!
You sure
Oh
that's a name and
my.
not a sneeze?
But she is known as Carnos, shortened,
Carnos.
or in her disguised form, Elias. Or Elia.
Tari Leocarnos.
Elias.
Tari Leah Carnos.
That doesn't seem too hard
Or
to pronounce like the others.
Liak Carnos.
I mean, that's our
Right.
assumption of how it's pronounced.
Carnos.
With my
Weird.
small
Yep.
amount of knowledge in the SCA, there are some languages where,
And
like
so,
fucking Gaelic.
Because it also could be Leocaros instead of Lea.
so as y'all are flying over there, what you don't know is that it will take you 2 days to travel there. You guys are traveling over 600 miles, completely conked out. And where you guys head to, unknown to you, is up in the Nether Mountains. With that, we will call it here. We'll pick up at the Council of Dragons next time we play.
All right, bet.
Fun times! Which may or may not be in 2 weeks, considering my birthday being this next weekend. We'll figure that out.
Definitely.
Huh?
So definitely 2 weeks.
We'll see.
I mean, arguably, I land back in Connecticut at 2 o'clock on Monday. So,
Just in time for D&D.
Yeah.
Oh no, she'd be able to go home and take a few hour nap and then jump.
Is she gonna collapse?
uh-huh.
Because that's what 6:45 flight that morning.
Yeah. After a 5:45 flight Thursday morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, with that, we will call it here. Say goodbye to Kick and YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah.
Hey, those nachos.